Hi, welcome back to channel TrainStation 2. Alright, in preparation for this Seaport event, it only happens like twice a year, so do remember to get your favorite train from the previous region from this upcoming Seaport event. I believe it will be a short one, given the fact that there's an upcoming, I think it's something called the European Revolution, somewhat similar to the USA Revolution event. So I think this is some in-between kind of mini event. But nonetheless, I think we should be able to get one or two of the previous region trains. I'm talking about those legendary ones. So of course, if you're getting commons, probably you can get more. Of course, rare and epic as well. But legendary, normally I think it's quite hard because you use really a lot of those Seaport coins itself. So this is just a glimpse of how it works. Apparently, there are various containers depending, like you said, the common you need 55, whereas if it's a legendary you need 800, and we're talking about Britain, just the first region. You get more and more coins required as you move up in terms of region. For me, I really need one of the missing legendary in the Britain itself, so I'll just focus more in getting Britain's legendary. In the last Seaport event, I managed to get two or three, if I'm not wrong, of the same legendary trains, unfortunately for me. Otherwise, I would have completed my Region 1 collection. So I believe I also need, I think, two more trains in Region 2. Region 3 I already completed. I think Region 4 I may need probably another one, and then Region 5 I've completed. So in generally, I think for the past regions I have like 4 missing trains. Region 1 region 2 I think region 4 is 1. So otherwise I'll have a full set of collection already, and you know, as a player in the TrainStation 2, you must be somewhat like a collector of trains, that you really love all the trains. So likewise for me, I love to collect all the trains in every single region. If you are new to the game, do not rush, collect every single train in the region before you move on, because otherwise you'll be always hoping for a Seaport event to appear in order for you to claim previous region trains itself. Of course, if you do not want to worried about getting previous region trains through Seaport event, you could spend gems if you prefer. For me, I'm not spending. And do remember to do your ship trade, because only through ship trades regularly done you get sometimes some coins, but that's not the main important stuff you can get from there. It's basically those blue maps itself. So blue maps are really required for your building upgrades in order to increase the population. So in preparation for the Seaport event, as usual, I think the only thing I can prepare right now is to make sure that all the factories I have produced already in both the input and output tray. It is always somewhat similar in preparation for event, but in addition to putting an input and output tray, you really need to work on your population upgrade. I do understand as you move up in levels, getting harder and harder. So if you are only in the early parts of the game, i.e. in Region 1 and 2, congratulations. Focus on getting all the trains in the region. Focus on building population right at where you are. Alright, because otherwise you're like me, you'll get a very tiny population. You can see me now working really hard. I mean, in increasing the population from 2,000 plus, I think, to now 11,000. Normally people would have already got somewhat 10,000 in region 2 or even 3 latest. For me, I'm only getting that in region 5. It's too slow, and in a sequence of that, consequences is very small warehouse spacing. That's why I need to prepare a lot of items in the input and output tray in compensation towards my tiny warehouse itself. If you are like me, having a tiny warehouse, fear not, do apply the 5 building technique. As long as we start, it's never too late. You can see me having the special building from the global logistics, I think it's called World Trade Center or something like that, in the center as a special building, surrounded by 4 common buildings. So every time there will be 4 upgrade requests generated. just need to basically fulfill them by getting the items required for the building upgrades. And then once we are done, we'll get that population added, and eventually with sufficient population we can increase the warehouse spacing. So that's something you've got to do as a continuous basis. Besides that, as I mentioned earlier, the sea trades, and of course now making sure every single factories are filled to the brim with items, and do get all the raw materials ready in the warehouse as well, because you do not know really what are really required in the Seaport event itself. So really looking forward to this once or twice a year kind of event, and I really hope that everybody is having good luck in getting the missing trains of yours. If you already cross a region, there's no way you can get back the train except spending some gems. That's very common, but I will prefer you not do that, because I will urge you to upgrade all your 6 factories to the brim, i.e. To the maximum capacity, before you embark into spending gems on containers to buy previous regions or even events itself. So getting gems is not easy, especially for free to play. We earn gem by watching a video, especially Apple Play. I gotta emphasize this. The hardship of us getting a single gem is so difficult. Android players, you are more lucky. I understand that once you play certain related games that's being marketed by the developer of TrainStation 2, you can get a huge amount of gems somewhat, right? So that's a bit different, but nonetheless, fear not, it's just after all a game that we all enjoy. So even you don't get sufficient gems, just play the consistent approach, you should be able to do well. And I think minimally you should be able to get 1 legendary out of this Seaport event itself. So in preparation, these are the things we got to do, but more importantly is you know what to store, so as to maximize the opportunity of storing more items. Like I said, I'll give you a very easy example would be chairs. Chairs equates to nails plus timber. So if you store nail and timber separately in 2 factories, you are taking up 2 spaces. But if you store a chair in the input tray itself, you can be converted by cancelling that order, and then you get back the 2 items. So in order for this to work, you got to store production first. Like this, I've already stored the production. Therefore, you can put things in the input tray for it to be stored in that area. So you can see here, we are storing items in the input tray because production is not running. It will act as the warehouse spacing, okay? But you gotta be careful. I mean, generally, if you are storing too much, you may have a stuck of not able to move certain things at the start of the event itself. So you really got to balance a bit. If you have some trains on hand that is not going to deliver anything or collect anything, that will of course allows you to move some of the inventory items out of your warehouse, and that will start the ball rolling. Otherwise, the easiest alternative is to having not fearful to dump away items from your warehouse. Choose those that are really easy to get, like coal, iron. It's a 30-second job. Those should be easily thrown away because you can easily get them back itself. So of course the next one will be a iron powder. You just need a couple of minutes to make them from something that you collect, iron, which is 30 seconds. So add together is probably like a couple of minutes. Then you can also dump them if you really need to. But of course, you take a look at copper. It takes so long to make one set, and dumping them up front will feel very painful. So for those, I wouldn't dump them off. Okay, so you got to decide what you're gonna throw away in order to lighten the load of your warehouse itself. Okay, so that said, is only when you feel stuck. Otherwise, there's no need to. The approach of having this interim warehouse has its cons. Either disadvantage is that you have items stuck, and then you can't produce the items required. But you really got to make sure you know how to maneuver the items out of the queue by cancelling and then putting them in front. And last but not least, do collect all the gold as and when it's ready. Especially having good capacity train in every single region is important, so we can get a maximum goal each time itself. Alright, coming towards the end of the video already. I wish you good luck in the Seaport event and able to claim all the trains you love. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.